Thank you for coming to this Zoom section. My name is Huli Ho, a volunteer conducting IT classes in library at Harbourfront. At this moment, we have converted these classes using Zoom. I have a blog, itforseniors.wordpress.com. Normally about 5 days before the talk, I will post the notes for today's talk for you to get some idea what I intend to talk. And for those who are interested to have a soft copy, you can go to the blog at the bottom right-hand corner, click the word follow, and submit your email address. So for subsequent posts on this Zoom lesson, you will have a soft copy. Since circuit breaker time, I have covered 12 topics, each 2 sessions. And the library normally record these sessions and extend a copy to me to post it in my YouTube channel. And to make it easy, even for the blog, I put a link so that if you study any topic within the blog, you can have a direct access to the actual talk to check what you have missed out or what you want to hear again to reinforce your understanding of the digital technology. Now, today I will try to cover how to make full use of the internet access, how to create a quiet corner for yourself, and what can we do with full access, internet access. These are some of the ideas you can consider because every one of us has different lifestyle. So you can choose and select what item you would like to have. And if today's talk is not detailed enough, you can always get in touch with me. I can help you in whatever way I can. And I will also give you a peep of the future, what the Internet of Values, 5G, and blockchain is all about. Okay, I will try to cover some of the important points I have mentioned in the last talk. So this equipment, you will find it in your house. We call this a terminal point because the government guaranteed every citizen will have access to the internet. So the location of this box is very important. Later on, you will know the reason why. This is a typical house of a household that has subscribed to broadband in their house. And these are the, you can say, the most common equipment they have. But they may have IoT also. So you notice all the equipment go back to one point, to the internet. Now, to connect to the internet, we have to find one of these 5 providers, the one in yellow, because you need to get an approved licensed provider before you can connect to the internet. And once you have the connection, you can choose to do many things. You can choose to continue with Singtel or StarHub with some TV channel contents, or you can go to some private Netflix to get some documentary movies and things like that. So all these will be discussed. And there are some more, but these are the popular ones. And here I also mentioned that the current market rate for broadband at home unlimited is about $60 for a 1G plan. But do you aware that there's also a 500 meg plan where the price is half of the full version, it's $30. So for a retired family, husband and wife, the $30 plan, in my view, is good enough. So we can save $30 for it. And if you still want to save some more, you don't want to spend $30, you can have this version. Here I give you two methods. One method is you buy a portable wireless router, get a SIM data card, put inside this small black box, and you will be charged by how many GB that you have purchased. And you have to check your lifestyle and to see how many quantity, how many G is enough for your lifestyle. So normally one movie is about 1 G. So if you see five movies in a month, then you roughly know how much you need. Plus other things like searching the internet and all these things. The other one is using your smartphone. Because sometimes some of you may have, because of a company account, you may have unlimited access to the internet on your smartphone. If that's the case, you actually don't really need to have a broadband at home. You can use the hotspot to ping to your laptop. But definitely the speed is a bit slow. But if you cannot tolerate it, then you may have to go to the first method. So these are the cheaper version. Now, this is just some samples of what you can do if you have full internet access at home. I just give some examples. This is not the limit. This is just a starting point. So if you want to pick up knowledge and content, arts and culture, you can go to some of these apps. You can even go to Google Arts and Culture app. There's a lot of wonderful museums and art gallery that you can have a window tour out of it, free of charge. TED Talk is very good for scientific discussion. Wikipedia also very good for checking what medicine you're eating, what side effect and all this. You have to explore and learn through experience yourself. Even the library app now also has enhanced and improved. You can check what events you want to attend, like today's event. You can go to this app to register. They even got digital books, newspaper, e-magazine. So it's a matter of whether you have time to explore this app. The Google Earth is also very good. If you have one children or one child staying overseas and you know the address, you can actually see their house as clear as it is. So the second one is music and movies. So these are some of the apps. Disney Plus is a paid channel. Netflix is also a paid channel. YouTube is free. So depends on what you want to see. Now, if you want current affairs and news, these are some of the apps. CGTN is China. STCNA, all these are Singapore news. NHK, Japan. RT, Russia. So depends on which country you want to see their news. It's good to see a few to get a broader angle or perspective of what they are talking about. Online games are not only for children only, even adults also play. You can play online with your friends or even with strangers if you join a club. So these are some of the apps you can go to. It's still not challenging. You can get Xbox or Sony PlayStation. Switch are more popular with children now. Apple TV is another streaming device that have a paid movie and a paid and rental movie and also songs you can purchase. So it's very good. But they also have a YouTube app and a TED app within it that you can also use it to see free content. Apple TV, the graphic is very good and the sound also very good. They use, I think it's a better design than those normal one you get from Simlim. Chromecast is just a device for you to connect at the back of a smart TV so that if any movie show you you browse and get connected on your smartphone, you can mirror it on a bigger screen on your smartphone, no, sorry, on your smart TV by buying this gadget. It's $65 in those digital shops. Communication, WhatsApp is a popular one. Maybe that's the first one you have to pick up and learn. And there are others like Signal and Messenger. There are many of them. Smart home are those who want to explore further what they can do at home. You can actually talk to Google a device and ask them to turn off, turn on the light. Very useful if you have a big house where once you enter everything in darkness and you have to walk through the darkness. So this is a very good device. Just tell Google to turn on before you walk through the dark area. Online shopping. Sync Health is also a good app. Nowadays, most of the hospitals do not collect cash. Or even collect cash, you have to wait for a long time to pay. So normally, if you have this app, you can just walk off after you have your consultation, and the bill will send to your account or your mobile number. Then from there, you online, you can pay it. It's very convenient. Also, you can use it to check your appointment and also some medical advice and all that. Speed test is also very good to check the strength of your Wi-Fi signal at home. This is a closer view of a router. You notice through the years, router has upgraded and improved in their design in many ways. So it started with 802.11, then they add a B, then they add a G, then they add an N. So in my view, all these are considered obsolete. If you still have it at home, especially when you have a 1G plan, please change to at least an AC model or AX model. The price has dropped. It's not $420, it's cheaper than $420. So when you buy a wireless router, they always give you the code, like this code is AC, that means that router is working on Wi-Fi 5. If the box label AX, then it is the latest model that is available in the market. We call it Wi-Fi 6. All this we are talking about speed. So 5G for Wi-Fi 5, you can get 2,000 over. For the lower 2.4, you can get 1,000. So you get a, okay. So this is the app that you can use and go around your house and see which location in your house has the weakest signal, and whether you want to try your way to improve on it by some of the methods I'm going to explain to you further. So I have some test results down here. These are my actual measurement in my own home. So you notice if I connect a direct cable from the router to my laptop, I get almost 1G, 950. That shows that my provider has given me a very good line. But if you do a measurement and you only get 700, means you have automatically lost 300 M. So when I use my iPhone wireless without a cable, I can still get about 400 over. So that is very good. And the serviceman who came to my house told me that anything not less than 120 is considered acceptable for wireless at home. That means we call it workable. But anything below 100 means something is wrong. You have to make a feedback to the company and check why. Because you pay for 1G and you only get less than 100, something is really wrong. You remember just now I told you the 500 plan, you pay only $30, half the price of the 1G, and you still can get 400. So now you're getting less than 100 and you pay $60. So you have the right to complain to them. So normally there are two ways to reset the router. One way is you do it yourself. I have got some step later. The other way is you request the provider to do it at their end. It depends on how you talk to them. But if you get a good provider, they will take your word, they will reset for you. How to overcome weak Wi-Fi signal? One of the way is use the lower frequency, the 2.41, because the lower frequency can travel longer range. Assuming you are already committed in a network and your router can have the 2-speed. So you configure your, what should I say, your 2-speed means 2 network lah. So you can call your network A and B lah. So you identify them. So when they broadcast out, you can receive A network and B network. So you force your smartphone to take the B network lah. You can call by any name. You can say mango and orange or whatever you call it. It's just a name. So that's how you force it to go to a lower one. But most of the smartphone now, they know how to automatically adjust a high or low, depending on the signal strength. So the later version actually no need to do it. The smart device will do it themselves. They know how to go down to a lower level if the high signal is not strong enough to sustain the usefulness of your smartphone. So just now I mentioned 1G you should get around 900. And when you are using a smartphone, you should get around 400. So anything more than 120 is considered acceptable. So here I say you can try to reset your router if something is not work well. So these are more permanent solution to solve the signal. Consider to relocate the TV box. I think the second request, you have to pay for it. Because when they come that time, they ask you where, you say there, then they install for you. And now you find that you can relocate it. So maybe you'll get a quotation from them first before you start thinking of this first option. Second option is get a mesh system. I will discuss further. And if you are a Singtel subscriber, you can actually get this S-key mesh. They come in a pair of 2 units. So this is how you connect the Singtel S-key. You have a wireless router, you get a cable, and connect the first S-key. They are identical, interchangeable, so you can take any one you want. As the main, in room 1, connect with a cable. Then from room 1, they will broadcast by wireless to room 2. This is how you spread the signal. If you are not a Singtel subscriber, you can get equivalent with other brand, working exactly the same. Google has a brand, Asus has a brand, D-Link has a brand, so it depends on which one you want to choose. Yeah, this is the personal corner I'm talking about. You notice my investment is less than 500. Why? Because the Apple TV box market value now is about 260. The computer monitor screen is about 200, so 460. And the speaker behind is $50, so it's about $500. You can put anywhere you like because the Apple TV box is connected by wireless. And it has a very good receiver, so not to worry about it. So you can choose any quiet corner that nobody disturb you, and then from there you can have your own lifestyle, see a movie, listen to some songs or whatever it is, to relax, or even to listen to a talk. So all up to you. You're interested, you can find a corner and do it. This is the case study I said I will share with you all. In this talk, I have 3 case studies. So this is the first one. I give you some history, then you will know why at the end the parents or the seniors, the 2 seniors get into trouble. This family has 1 son only. Oh, sorry. So when the government start to issue the terminal box, during that time, this son is still studying in the U. So the serviceman come and say, where you want me to put the TV box? Definitely the son said, put in my bedroom lah, because the son is actually using it most of the time. The parents are seldom using it. So they put in the son's bedroom. So that's called the TV point. Then they subscribe to a broadband, and then the router, the modem, all in the son's bedroom. So as the years gone by, the son got married and moved out. So the poor old folks start complaining why their Apple TV box at the hall cannot receive well and always get broken channel. Broken means, suddenly you see somewhere, then the picture freeze by itself, then the circle keep on rolling for a few times, then it come on again for a few seconds, then it stop again, because the streaming is not sufficient, the strength. So we know them, so they ask me how to resolve it. This is a split level housing board flat. What happened is the hall and the kitchen is on the lower level. The bedrooms are on the upper level, connected by a spiral staircase. So I try to save money for them. The red thing is the optical cable coming in at the terminal point. I said, why not you move the router out of the bedroom by buying a data cable from the terminal point to the router. I think, one room is the most about 3 meters. So give it 5 meters. So you buy a 5-meter data cable, put the router outside, then you see what happened. It has direct connection to the Apple TV because it is a split level, and that solved their problem. So it's a little bit of thinking and a bit of a DIY job. You notice I put the word Cat 6 down there. In the market, there are many grades of cable. Cable is not just one cable, because the construction, the material, quality, everything is different. Now I think I was told you have Cat 8 or Cat 9, but Cat 6 is good enough. Don't go and buy Cat 3 or Cat 4 or even Cat 5. These are considered obsolete. So minimum entry point is Cat 6. So that's how I solved this case study number 1. Just bring the router out of the room, have direct view to the smart TV, Apple TV box, and everything works well. Now, case study number 2. Okay, this is just to tell you what the Apple TV box logo looks like. Okay, so this one is a case study number 2. It's a typical 5-room housing board flat. And normally, most of us will have the TV point just along the same wall of the main entrance, because that is the place normally we put our TV. Some people put it on the opposite side of the wall, but most of it, for convenience, to put it here. So you notice you will get restricted to where? To the kitchen, to the master room. The yellow line are the wireless signal that's going through, okay? So it penetrates through the concrete wall and the door and all that and go inside all this room. So if you don't have a good router of a certain quality, you may get trouble in the master room and also on the remote room. So how to improve on it? This is the way to improve on it. Get a repeater. Google call it a point. And you notice what happened? It's a dual direction. That means the router talk to P talk to the router at the same time. Not say A talk to B, stop, then B talk to A. Not like that. Like that is double time. So now most of these extender or repeater, they are of a certain quality that allow dual communication. And you notice you have direct feed directly to the kitchen, to the 2 other rooms, to the master room. So that is one improvement. If you're willing to spend some money to buy the P. It's about $100 at the P. This one is more interesting. This is a typical terrace unit. Terrace means they have 2 levels. And during the implementation time, most of the people will connect the terminal point near to the main door there. Why? Because in the old days, the telephone wire always come in from that end, from the A end, normally. So you can say the government contractor may be lazy, don't want to find another way to come in B. They just follow the telephone pipe and all that, or maybe on your driveway or what, just connect a wire directly to A and just stop it just behind the main door. Then you will have big trouble. You know what I mean? Because when you go to the upper room, where the signal to go to, you will have to penetrate to the floor of the second story. So definitely the signal will be very big. So if you do renovation to your terrace house, it is good to lay a cable on the B side to the road, so that when you request them to relocate, at least you have provision within your property that you have an underground cable. The road doesn't matter. The road, the government will take care of it. The government contractor will take care of it. And don't forget, optical cable, we don't join one. That means even coming to your house, that cable is a continuous cable from the circle to the node. The node normally is at the junction of the road, or T junction we call it. So if you have a row of terrace houses, you will come to a T, and most likely that is something that we call a Singtel manhole box. It's normally a rectangular piece of cast iron, and below it you will have a node there, and that is where they connect the cable to every household. Everyone have a direct cable, and this cable is very tough. I took a sample of it. I tried to cut. I think more than half hour for me to cut the cable into 2. Very tough. Unless you have the special tool, you just using normal scissors or pliers, it take a hard time to cut it. So if you have the terminal point at the right location and you put your router there, so you know what happened? You go to the second story, you have your repeater. In this case, you have to buy 2. You cannot buy 1, because the first P go to master is still a long way to go. And you notice the signal pass through the corridor. So the second P is actually serving the hall and the master room. The first P is actually serving the room that the P is in, plus the next room. They can penetrate through the one wall, so not so bad. So that is how I solve this family's problem. So whenever I have a friend have this type of setup, I will tell them buy this method, because it proves that it works. So unless you give me another configuration, then I have to think of it. So this is case number 2. 3, is it? Yeah, this case number 3. So this is another graphic view of the one used for a terrace unit. You have an optical network router and everything. You connect to a router, the terminal network, the modem connect to a router. Then the router passes the signal to the first room on the upper level. Then it passes the signal to the somewhere near to the second room, the master room, either outside or inside, depends on where it's convenient. And remember, all these points require power socket. So normally when you have one point, I always recommend you have a dual power socket. That means 2 socket in one unit. So this is the Google design, Google mesh system. ASUS and D-Link all also have this system, but their design of their box is maybe not so fanciful, maybe different, but the technology is the same. So that is how you upgrade a terrace house. Now, come to the future. We are talking about 5G. This G, we are talking about not generation, is the speed we are talking about. The cellular speed, the technology. And blockchain is a platform that requires speed. That's why these two can match together to form one successful system. And at the present moment, some of them are trying out on cryptocurrency. Some are trying out on digital currency. Some are trying out on digital money. And some even try out on digital transaction. So this one, I have a table. I think in the first talk, you can refer to that table to explain all this terminology. But I think I try to explain blockchain again to you. Blockchain is a distributed ledger written once and never erased. If a chain is required, every block within that platform must agree that the chain is right, and a new block will be generated. This enhances transparency and traceability. A new block is chained to the previous block, and so on. A new block can only be generated if and only if all the other blocks accept that a chain is necessary. Who are the people doing all this for you? Assuming you are the owner of that block. You are the one that represent that block. We call them miners. It's something like internet, we call them providers. So they are the people who do it and earn the commission out of it. So you notice, now the blockchain, you can understand if you read the earlier statement I write. And you notice 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, all belongs to one person. And the one person, through his lifestyle, has changed. When I say one person, what I mean is his medical report is digitized, his educational record is digitized, his asset and liquid cash is also digitized, his asset is also digitized. So assuming that person at that moment of time is 1, 2, 3. So when he want to sell a house to somebody, he will announce out they sell the house. Then the miners, before they can give him a revised block, become 1, 2, 4, they have to link to his previous block so that the 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 4 can compare and find where is the difference. And the difference is one house is missing because he sold it. That means here on the 1, 2, 3, you will have -1 house, but you have his liquid cash increase. And all the other block must agree that is a true event. So you will get one miner who not doing his job well or try to be corrupted. He tried to force 1, 2, 3 to collect the money from the one who intend to buy his house, but try not to throw the house and give it to the other person. That means 1, 2, 4 -1 house away. Try to do that. He cannot do that. If you want to do that, he must tell the others to tell them that that is the right way. So it's very difficult for any miners to try to manipulate the digital thing. All these are done by a certain, we can say, formula. And when I say 1, 2, 3, the code is not that simple. The string can be as much as 24 to 64 digits. So you try to copy the identity of that person, also you got trouble. It's not easy. So, but the question is, most of the authority now still don't consider it workable yet. They still want to do a lot of study because if a mistake is made and a loophole is there, then it will cause a lot of trouble. So most of the country are starting it slow and small. China is starting their digital currency. The currency is traceable and they issue to a certain number of people and let them spend and see how the money flow digitally. So every country is trying their own way to see how to perfect the system before they really formalize it. So I think that is the most I can explain. Yeah. Okay. I have a close interest group. I call that Harbourfront Community Group. This group, the opportunity is for you all to make friends and also share your IT knowledge or even ask questions. And we all share what we know. I also learn from you all if you ask a question. So at the moment, I have 138 members. It's a closed group. And before any of applicants is accepted, they have to introduce themselves. So minimum, they have to say so much. If they only give me a name, it will not be accepted because a name can be any name. You can give me Mary Tan. Mary Tan can be a male, can be a female, and don't know where you come from. So you have to give other identity to confirm you are local and interested to share and join the community. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at this email address. All these are in the blog. No, this is not in the blog. All these are in this talk here. So you can ask more questions before you join. So I think that's all I have. Fasa, give it back to you.